It's mainly our parents and players in here today, but big warm welcome to Clayton that's over. We really appreciate him coming over today. Thanks for everybody for coming. A big warm extra welcome to EST that's here from New Mexico. Yeah, go. Thanks, Alan. I think they brought the weather as well. What a great difference it is today to be able to go out, nice sunny weather, blue skies. So we also want to extend our thanks to Orangewood Old Boys and Braga Sports Club for opening up their great facilities for us to hold this event. So we show our appreciation to the guys in the back corner. Big clap. Hi, Chris. Okay, so just some house rules. If everybody can switch their mobile phones to silent. And also as well, better go and be good. Emergency exits is the way you've come in, or just behind Clayton and Javi at the back. Right to the back, that'll take you out, but we shouldn't have any emergencies planned. Anybody that needs a loo, it's out that way as well. And also it's non-smoking as well, so please just keep your cigarettes outside. Just to give Clayton some background on our club, this is our 4th season at TW Braga. We went from having one team up to now having a full academy from under 16 right down to under 7s. And it's a nice partnership that we have with EST. We would coach over there in Hobbs every summer. This will be our 4th year coming up this June. This is the 2nd year that they've come over here with 4 of their talents. That I can see 3. Where's Angel?
Over here.
Right in the back there. So they're the 4 talents is over, and it's really nice for us to see it, because it's interesting for them, taking them out of their environment and seeing how they cope here. It's a little bit cooler here than what they're used to, but it's also nice to see how our players can cope. Different culture and them coming in and the talent that it is, so it's really, really interesting. It's been very positive from last year and this year as well. So what we want to do, without further ado, we're going to get a wee DVD going here soon as well, but it's a pleasure to have Clayton Blackmore over. When I was about 11, I remember his wonder goal against Leeds that we're talking about there. You know, at my mum and dad's house at 11, jumping off my bed going crazy when he scored a free kick, that was back in the day when Leeds were quite good. But he's made 249 appearances for Manchester United, scoring 26 goals, Welsh international, winner of the FA Cup, shared the Charity Shield, which you guys will know as the Community Shield, scored against Liverpool, may I add. Also as well, UEFA Cup Winners' Cup winner, that was against Johan Cruyff's Barcelona. It was a fabulous side, you know, it was a great win in Rotterdam. Mark Hughes getting the 2 goals. I think Clayton, one of the other big things in my mind at 6 was the one that you saved off the line from Michael Laudrup.
Yeah, last 5 minutes. I was an overseas player then as well.
Yeah, that's
the British lads were it was me, Mark Hughes, Dennis Irwin, Chucky playing the player. They were the overseas players. Only 4 foreigners you could play on.
Yeah. So anybody that didn't know that, there used to be a rule that you can only play 4 foreigners in your team. So would you believe that Clayton was classed as a foreigner being Welsh? Dennis Irwin from the Republic of Ireland, and Brian McClure from Scotland, and who was the other one? Mark Hughes, of course, Welsh as well. So crazy rule that it used to affect squad selection, even in the Champions League then after that as well. I remember one time when we went over to, big supporter of Man United, I don't know if he hasn't guessed, but over at the new camp, and I think Peter Schmeichel was in the stands because they couldn't find a place for him. Yeah, but also then after that, Cup Winners' Cup went on to win the UEFA Super Cup and also a Premier League title, so that was a long wait after 26 years, you know, so absolute legend that we've got here. But what we want to do is we want to take a wee look at the DVD that Josh is going to stick on some of Clayton's goals at Manchester United.
Celebrations are always needed. A bit calm with the celebrations.
I started, I walked right into the last
So it's scored on that one. Fergie's team top. Clayton is a shorter. You're wrong, you're going to run around. Make that run to get up there. Robbins here, he's a safe foot time. This was a ball after the ball, it's a big ball. So the mud. I've got hammered in that game for the fans. They're really close to there, and this is ball, big Let it go on. Come on, let's go.
Can you read that one?
It was a cross.
The bar got it over.
Nobody want to take it.
Let me get away up there.
It's playing around mental.
I told him it was over.
Plays me against Stuart Pearce all the time.
You just out bigger.
Good goal. I didn't play it.
It was great to see some great goals in there, some great memories of the plastic pitch as well at Luton Town, which was quite unusual. And you see the heavier pitches, boys. It's not all like it was now, but Tom, I don't know where Tom is, he went and said to me outside, he says, I was at Black and White, used to watch it in Tim, so I thought that was quite cheeky, but we did have to convert back to it. It was VHS we had in the videotapes now onto the DVD, you know, so you guys won't have a clue what VHS was like, but some great memories there, so it's an absolute treat to have Clayton over with us, and we want to put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, boys, for Mr. Clayton Blackmore.
Good morning. I was just reminding me of a goal where the crosser came in a bit in the top corner. The team talk from Sir Alex, I think he'd lost his rag a wee bit, and just before the game he's gone, do your own team talk. So we're all like that. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about Sir Alex, he had a little bit of a nasty temper, and it was worse than that to be fair, but we were all looking around the room like that, and we were all looking at Robbo. Robbo's the one, he's our leader, and everybody was thinking, please get up Robbo, you need to get up. So Robbo stands up, comes around, he goes, right, you pick him up from corners, you pick him up from corners, and then that was it, get changed. And I can't really repeat what the manager said next, because he was a little bit young, but it was incredible. He just lost it, he just went mad, and that was about 5 minutes into the game. The ball's come to me and I put it in the top corner. I think we were 2 or 3 up at half time, and he went crazy again at half time. I think he thought we weren't trying when he was giving us a team talk. But no, he was a massive character. I'll go back. When I was a kid at your age, I was from Wales, which is a rugby area, and you know, I obviously knew I was not bad because lots of scouts came and kept taking me to the clubs for training. But I didn't know when I was 16, I wanted to be a footballer. It was mad in those days. You know, I knew I was good at it, but you just keep playing and try working as hard as you can. And after being probably the best player in Wales at my age, I went to Manchester, and then all of a sudden you're in a big ball. You got the best players from all around Great Britain. Like big Norman Whiteside, who was over here, we're the same age. We grew up together, and like Norman was like 16, he was playing in the World Cup finals. He was scoring in the World Cup finals. So you've gone from being a big fish, now you're a little fish, now you've got to start working hard again. But you know, I've been very lucky, I've played with some of the best players in the world, and I think my word to the young lads is whatever you put into the game is what you get out of it. And you've got to, if you work hard enough, you can get anything you want to, I think, in the game. You've got to work. I was just saying there, if you watch nearly all the goals I've scored there, I'm making runs forward. I watch a lot of academy players, and I've worked in the Manchester United Academy for the last 7 years. And they don't really work on things like that, what they teach you to get into the box, or things which you don't know because you've never done it yourself. I've worked with Marcus Rashford from when he was 12. I remember him the other week, he's gone clean through on goal, one-on-one, and I actually thought that's probably the first time he's been in that situation, but now he's got 75,000 people expecting him to score a goal. And you know, I'm thinking, well, he's not really used to do it, does he know what to do? And he's shot, the keeper saved it. The next time he does it, he goes round the keeper and misses the goal. But he's a perfect example. He's 17, 18, he's been fast-tracked to the first team, and he's learning the hard way in front of 75,000 people every week. And if you watch his games lately in the last few weeks, he's not been doing that well, so his confidence has gone a bit. But now it's down to our coaches at United. They need to realise that and give him and tell him what to do to get his confidence back. Because he's always been a left winger. From 12 up to 16, he was a left winger. So you might never know what position you play until you get to, hopefully, when you all want to play football and you go to a top club. You might not know until you're 17, 18 what position you're going to play in. So if you work hard, listen to the coaches. You know, you've got good coaches there. They've done a fantastic job there. I mean, one team, and then you've got a full academy is unbelievable on your own shoulders. That's, it's incredible. And you've even got people coming from Mexico. That's, it's unbelievable what you're doing here. But like I say, it's great. It's a great life. I mean, it's changed again now. When I was, like I said, Norman White said at 16 was like that. He was in the first team at 16, 19. I was 19 before I got into the first team because of my physique. Now the game's changed a bit. I'm just talking about it. You can get in at pretty much any. If you're good enough now, you get into the team because it's not as physical. The game's not a physical game as much. You need to be fit. And for me, I watch. It's like we were talking about Manchester United now. For me, they're not working as hard as they could do. If they've got 2 more gears to go up, they could be the best team easily in the Premier League, Manchester United. But for me, they're not playing the right way. I think Jose's got his way of playing. He'll probably go out and buy 3 of the best players who are around this season to strengthen the squad. It makes sense. But the best clubs, they're usually doing the best in the league. If you look at the top 4 or 5 teams in the league, they're the ones with the money, and I don't think it's down to the coaching there really about the players they've got playing. But to use you've got to work hard, especially when you're getting a bit older. The more work you put into your football, the more chance you've got of making it, and it's worth it now. The amount of money in the game now is crazy. You can be an average player now and be on thousands. There's people at Carrington, our young lads are walking, they're going around in Range Rovers and they're only 18, 19 years old. It's crazy the amount of money around. But that's not the players' fault. So you want to talk about anything? Bit of a Q&A.
Right, these 2 work. We don't want to stand too close to the speakers. I think we'll get some noise. First of all, one of the things that's quite interesting was you played under Ron Atkinson before Sir Alex Ferguson. It was quite brief, was it?
Well, when I moved up to the club at 16 from school, Big Ron had just taken over, and I think we spent about 5-6 years with him. Very flamboyant. I did a dinner with him the other night, and he's still flamboyant. But he's, I liked him as a manager, except for when he left me out. But you get that in football. There's a lot of you're going to be left out. You've got to get used to that. I mean, I've just tried to get in charge of the under-21s at United because I felt I've been in that position. I played 170 games in the reserves for Manchester United, and that's a lot of going in the team, coming out. But I think it was more from, it took me till I was 19 to get into the team. But it's a weird feeling, when you get left out and you think you should be in the team. I've been in that position a lot of times where I've seen players play not as good as me, but they're still in the team. But for me at the time, I'm glad I accepted it and kept fighting for my place there. It just depends how you look at it. I mean, there's some players now that the papers are in the game so much now. They're like trying to force people out. Like Marcus, if he misses a few months, they'd be saying, "Oh, should he move on?" They put pressure on people straight away to move. But what I've seen since I've stopped playing, I see a lot of pressure from the papers at all the better players at United. It's where if United play well and win, that's great. I'm a United fan, but I always want to be straight down the middle. Don't like cheating. We were brought up that way, and I see a lot of cheating in the game from referees, and they all support football teams. People don't realise all that. I don't know, is there any referees in it? Have a go on. Who do you support?
United.
So you couldn't referee that game?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lad, Martin Atkinson. I didn't realise at the time. We spoke to Dermot Gallagher, and he's an ex-ref, and he told us that he's actually got down in his CV. Did you have to put a team down you support? Was it on your CV?
Not at my level. No, I'm not a.
So he's had to put, and he's put Rotherham in it. So Rotherham's quite close to Leeds, and obviously he's a Leeds United. He's got 2 season tickets for Leeds United, and when he does the Man U games, you can see it. You can see it in his face. 50-50s, and it's only human nature. If you go against a team you really like, but and you've got to put it. I think United do get a lot of stick from that. I've seen it at City as well. Some of the bigger teams, but everybody wants the underdogs to win. I understand that, but you should. I think it's time they brought TV evidence into the game instead of about 30 years ago. But all we want is the correct result.
And growing up and trying to make the breakthrough at Manchester United, I mean, how did that feel? Did you progress from the 18s to the reserve team? Did you see a change when Sir Alex came to the club, different from Ron Atkinson? Because Manchester United's always been known for investing in youth and giving youth an opportunity. I think it's some crazy stat. They've always had a home-developed player at Manchester United in the squad from before right through to this current day, which is refreshing in this day and age in football.
Yeah, I mean, Ron was lucky. He had some really good players. When our youth team, we got to the final of the Youth Cup, and they talk about the Beckhams and that 92 squad. I think we had a couple of homegrown players, Mark Dempsey, Billy Garton. There was Graham Hogg who played against Maradona in that game at Old Trafford when they won 3-0. There was me, there was Norman Whiteside, and there was Mark Hughes. That was our youth team. So all of us got through and played in that era, and that it helps. I mean, you look at Ryan Giggs, who's played 25 years. So the club's not had to go and buy a left-sided player for 25 years. I mean, he's saved how much money, and then you've got to look. That's the way you look at it for me. And I've worked with Danny Welbeck, and Danny's just left. He'd left to go to Arsenal, and a lot of the coaches were getting annoyed with it, because he's a homegrown player. But I spoke to him. I says, look, he's not a finisher. He's played up front all his career, and I spoke to a couple of our coaches, and they even realised he wasn't a good finisher, but they never addressed it. So that's what I'm trying to get with coaching. Coaches should be, if they can see something the kid's not good at, and he's going to be a centre forward, they should be working on that, not just doing the old let's keep the ball and be good at passing. If you're not good at passing, you're never going to be a footballer. I mean, I could take a table there, all these will be able to pass the ball from here to there. I mean, most of our training sessions at United are pretty much that distance, and for me, they've got to work on a lot more and longer passing. I mean, it's weird because all the coaches, I always ask them, who's your favourite player? Paul Scholes. Oh, it's like a ball he hits at 60 yards. Yet you don't let the lads, practice long passing. And obviously you can't hit it too far when you're your age, but when you get into 14, 15, 16, that's when you need that in your locker. At 16, the coaches who've been coaching you for 4 years, they're now going to judge you. Are you good enough to go to the 17s, 18s? And for me, a lot of them, they don't give them enough ammunition, what they need to be good enough to get to the 18s.
And it's, keeping on the focus of, as you broke into the first team, Sir Alex Ferguson came in 1986, and it was quite a difficult start because he had to break up a lot of things that maybe went on where, we read in his book, the drinking cultures and stuff, this is how much the game has changed. It used to be players used to train and then head out for drinks and hopefully make it into training the next day. But I'm really intrigued to know the mindset, how he broke that up, how he changed it, and even when he was under immense pressure himself of being sacked really, and a lot of people argue that it was that Nottingham Forest game in the FA Cup when we went on and won the FA Cup.
The Hereford game.
I was there before.
No, the Hereford one was after the Forest one, but they always mention Mark Robbins for some reason.
Yeah.
Somebody must be plugging him. No, I mean, I think, to be fair, Ron was very, like I say, he was flamboyant, and the way his team talks were great. It was very positive. And when Sir Alex came in, he was thinking a lot more about even the diet, and like he said, straight away try to stop the drinking. But we had Robbo was like king at the time, and Robbo had his own rules. Doesn't drink 48 hours before a game. Looking back on it, Robbo was wrong. We're like, I'm Fergie went with it. 48 hours was okay, but there was a few other players who were drinking a bit more than that, a bit closer to the game, so they got oiled out. The Irish lads, we know. The Irish boys, you can't keep them at the bar.
You'll see that later.
I think he was way ahead of himself, Sir Alex, because I think most clubs are doing it, everybody was drinking. You got to Liverpool, the problem was because they're winning games and they've got it all boxed off, they win in the league every year, they're still drinking. I've listened to them, Souness and all them, and they were drinking as much as us, but it was just that they were better at the time. When I say better, we used to go and beat Liverpool, but you need the right tools to beat the Premier League, or the First Division at the time. And it's like, I think the big thing with that club for me was Gary Pallister. And when Pallister came in, he's 6'4", and now we go to the teams We used to bombard us like the Wimbledons, and now he's heading balls away, and it's a much easier game. When he wasn't there, we've got people, you know, centre halves who, if we played one game with Viv Anderson, Mickey Duxbury, myself and Dennis, you know, at the back we had to play offside. We were going out to the game and we were going, right, we're going to have to play offside, we're going to get battered. And it did work a bit, but, you know, well, Liverpool had two big centre halves, and they could all play, and they worked hard. It was it's like I say, with United, for me, they can go up another notch, because if we start closing teams down and making it hard, like Spurs are doing, Chelsea are doing it, all the top teams are doing it. I actually think Barcelona have changed the way British teams play. A lot of the coaches as well, they've bought into that, the short passing game, but what at United, I mean, I've been there 7 years and I've been trying to get them to do the closing down bit as well. Because it gets you fitter as well, you work hard and you do it, you go to close somebody down. If I've played defensive, and if somebody stays there, I'm happy. If somebody comes and closes me down, now I've got a problem. And in football, you've got to give the opposition problems. And, you know, it's common sense, but a lot of, people don't, they coach too much and don't tell the kids enough what they need to know.
So did you sense, like, when Sir Alex Ferguson, it was probably that FA Cup win in 1990, was that the mindset then changing, and did he have that group thinking different then, that they were sort of like a harder to beat?
Well, like I say, the difference was, I think when he came in it was easier. I mean, we had Paul McGrath, and for me he's in my team before Pally. But Paul had a lot of injuries and he never played a full. I said if he plays a full season for us, we'll win the league. And then he got himself fit that year, and then we sold him to Villa, who nearly won the league off us. He played all season for Villa and they nearly beat us to the league title. But no, he was unbelievable, Paul McGrath. But he did have a few other problems, and I think that's why the manager, sold him to Villa in the end.
And then that, obviously then, the Cup Winners' Cup was next after that, and it was a fantastic run in Europe, and for the boys, that obviously, you weren't born back then, you won't know, but I'm quite old. So for me it was quite exciting, because back then, a European game was really, really special, because you don't have like this where you've got 50 different camera views and live football all the time. So there was a real build-up. I always remember as a schoolboy in first year and second year, there was a build-up for weeks coming up to each game, and that was special. Got to the final in Rotterdam in Holland, where some of the young boys are going to be playing in a tournament here in May, and it was against Johan Cruyff's Barcelona, which was amazing, and what a victory that it was that night. Even to just bring us through step by step, the build up to that, how Sir Alex prepared you, how did you prepare as a player yourself, and your emotions on the night?
Yeah, I mean, it was a massive year that we came back into Europe, because I think Liverpool got us banned out of Europe for 5 years. But I probably felt sorry more for, because Everton was strong at the time. They probably missed a few years being in Europe as well. But I remember what Mark Hughes said to me. He said when he was at Bayern Munich, he says the players were running around saying we must win in Europe this year because the English teams are back in. So I think in those 5 years the English game changed a bit, and they could only judge English. The press have got a lot to answer for, because they'll be throwing it out there about England, they'll be hammering England. They're England's worst enemy, the English press. And it sort of, I felt it changed the way we played. We always played 4-4-2 and we closed down, we worked hard, and European teams didn't like that. They used to, having the ball and passing it around, having loads of time. And it was more, the South Americans, they worked so hard. Every time our teams go over to the South America, they close down, they work so hard. And it's a nightmare for defenders. The worst players are usually at the back. If they were better, they'd be in midfield or up front. If you can close them down quickly, they'll spill the ball, they'll give the ball back to you. And I've watched United now, and it's been so frustrating watching one of the best team around, and we're not doing that. And I think it's probably come in when we had Ronaldo. When Ronaldo came to the club, he's the best player I've ever seen, and he used to win games for us week in, week out. We knew we were going to win, because nobody could stop him. And what you do then, you don't have to work as hard then. Defensively, you don't have to closing people down, because you get the ball back, give it to him when we go and score. And it was mad when he left the club, you could see the difference. We had to work so hard then as a team again to win games. And before we knew we were going to win.
And and lifting that trophy then sort of obviously started the momentum then of us then taking control of the game for the next 20 years really in England.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, but you know, Sir Alex tried to change the drinking thing. He didn't quite do it. To be fair, he didn't really touch it. He didn't touch it. Like I say, Robbo had his rules, and we still went with the Robbo. We went down that road. You know, don't drink 2 days before a game. But like I say, looking back, you dehydrate in your body 2 days before a game. You know, it's not the thing to do. We weren't professional enough. Looking back, at the time we thought we were, but you know, we could have been a lot better. We could have been, you know, maybe 10-15%, you know, fitter in the games. But no, it was a fantastic time back in Europe, and obviously we're flying a flag then for Great Britain. You know, the British team. I say Great Britain, Scots are already in, but you know, we were back in, and the first team back in, and we had to really put a good show on. And it felt like everybody was behind us at the time. So obviously to go all the way through, I think Montpellier there, where the goalkeepers fumbled my shot there, that was probably the most important, well it was the most important goal I scored. Because they were a really good team. Valderrama, who used to play for Colombia, Laurent Blanc was playing for them, and they were very tough. They came to Old Trafford and drew us 1-1. But you know, at that time they were actually all over us at the time, and you couldn't see a way out. That's why I shot, because I don't think we'd had a shot at goal, and I just thought, I'm just going to smash it and see what happens. We might fumble it and somebody will get the rebound, but luckily he fumbled it into the net. So, but it was a massive. I think that was probably more important to Fergie than a lot of other things, which we did. If you look at the reaction on the bench, you can see they just went crazy because we were getting a bit. Then they lost their heads. It's amazing what a goal does. I think they were on a lot of money to beat us, and they started trying to beat us up then. They took Paul Ince out, he came off with a big gash on his leg, and it just got more aggressive, and it pretty much, you know, played into our hands, because we were always, you know, British teams are quite aggressive anyway. So, you know, it took their minds off playing football, and, you know, we went on to win the game then 2-0. But again, you know, when you get to finals, there is a massive build-up. You know, you're playing Barcelona. You know, we say we're the biggest team, and you know they're up there with us in Europe, in the world, as a club team. And they were odds-on favourites to beat us. And I mean, I think the same team went on the following year to win the European Cup. So it showed what kind of players they had in the team. And I've watched the game back lately in the last few years, and it shows in that game how hard we worked as a team, just closing people down. The same thing. Don't give people time on the ball. The nearest man closes the ball. That was the rule we had when we grew up. And for me, we've just lost it a bit, I think, because of the Europeans coming over, Barcelona dominating English, you know, European football. But no.
And then obviously Mark Hughes stole one off Steve Bruce, and then got a great second one, you know, against his own club. So he was wanting to do so well. When it went 2-1, squeaky bum time, and Michael Laudrup had that opportunity. You know, talk us through what was going through your head, and when you stopped, basically it was they were going to equalise. It was the ball was going to go in past the keeper, and Clayton clears it off the line. Got some congratulations. Tell us what was going through your head at the time, and after, how you felt.
Well, I mean, the way we lost, I think Brucey lost the ball out on the far side, and all you're thinking about is getting back to, you know, can you pick somebody up? And then obviously Les came out he went to close the player, I can't remember who was on the ball, to be honest, but, and as he's gone out, he's then played it to Laudrup. So you know, as soon as Les goes, I'm thinking, we need to get somebody on the line, you know, and luckily he hit it straight at me, so just in the right place at the right time. Not quite as good as a goal, but it is as good as a goal, but it never feels that way because you don't get as much adulation for doing it.
You were quite humble there. I think you secretly of Mark Hughes would say you won that game, huh?
Well, I don't know. I think it'll see it the other way.
So obviously after that, there's the UEFA Super Cup win as well, and then going back domestically, there was a real challenge between Manchester United and Leeds United. Leeds were very, very strong at the time, and that next, the league that I'll never like to go and say Leeds won, it's the one that we sort of give them, as we were talking about in the pitch there. But what was the disappointment? You worked so hard that season to win that first league title in 25 years, that fell just short with the amount of games that built up, that you're saying out there, 4 games in about 6 days. how did you pick yourselves up as a group of players coming so close, but yet just didn't go the line with them?
I think we've always said that. If you lose a game, the next game is just as big. So you've got a big game coming up, and you've got to concentrate on the next game. You're only as good as the next game you play. And after getting so close, looking back at it now, we probably could sue the FA for making us play 4 games in 6 days. He would us flogging a dead horse. You can't. It's stupid. No human being can do that. And if you look at it, we picked up a lot of injuries in those 6 days. But all they've got to do is put it back another week. But they'll be probably not wanting us to win the league. The people who are running it.
And as a player who worked so hard for that league title that it just escaped, what was the message that the manager gave you that summer?
Yeah, you just got to get back at it. Like I say, Manchester United is such a massive club. Every game we play, and even friendly games, they're all, you've got to win, especially with the manager. He was a nightmare. I think the worst hairdryer game, I think we played the friendly down at Torquay or something. I think it was 0-0 at half time, and everything went flying. That's where they see kick the table, cups and teas going over the suits, over our blazers and all that. It's only friendly, that. and what you got to think as well with the lads, when you get friendly, sometimes you just want to get through the game. You don't want to kill yourself playing in a friendly, because every game it's like a World Cup. As a kid growing up, so every game I played for United, it was just so hard. There was no loads of people say, "Oh, did you enjoy that game?" I said, "No, we've had to work really hard," and you get into positions where you have to work past. You're pushing yourself so hard, it actually hurts, but you've got to do that to go and win.
It was amazing that message was about the games that Manchester United won in injury time, whereas it's become known as Fergie time. It's amazing, is that just because he's got that drive, not just on a match day, but in training, he's constant with players?
I think that's come down to the way the boys play. They got into a way of passing, that probably came into when Bex and all them were playing. That was into feet, get it back, and the movement was really good. And we played 2 up front, so you're always working the centre halves. And the longer you're attacking their centre halves, they're going to get tired. They don't want to be running. I bet if you asked every centre half who's played at Old Trafford in the last few years, it's been the easiest game they've had. Playing 2 centre halves against 1 centre forward, and they don't have to. When Van Gaal's in charge, we very rarely put a cross in, so you don't have to defend. For me, the game was all about getting crosses in the box, getting bodies in the box. I always look at that now. When we put a cross in the box, how many red jerseys are in there? If we've got more than 3, I'm happy. A lot of the times, we're still getting 2, but you need loads of bodies in the box when you're putting crosses in there. And that's the way we always played. We'd outscore the opposition.
So that next season, after the disappointment of losing the title, Leeds United went on and won the title. What was the joy? Was it relief?
Yeah, I think it was. Again, if you look at the stats, the year before when Leeds won it, we were 4-4-2 up to Christmas, 42 goals we'd scored. Then we sort of changed to 4-5-1, and we didn't lose the league till the last game of the season. So if we'd have played 4-4-2 for just another month, we probably would have won the league that year. But we'd scored 42 goals. We go 4-5-1. And we scored 20 goals in the next 21 games. What does that tell you? The stats, you can read a lot into stats, but for me it's the same now. We play Rooney up front, we don't score goals on his own. Zlatan is doing really well for us. I think we get 1.6 goals when he's playing. When he's not played, the 5 games he's not played, we've scored 3 when Rooney's played up front. But his movement's not great, but he's a fantastic player. He's strong and a fantastic finisher.
And at Manchester United, you were known as, at times, unfairly or not, I don't know whether you like this statement, as Mr. Utility. That you said to the young boys out in the training pitch that you played in every position apart from goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Good thing, bad thing, for these lads here as well to listen to?
Looking back, I'm happy because what I've done in the game. You always judge yourself on what you've won in the game, I think. Trophies, and I was that close to somebody trying to hijack me to Man City. I was 12 hours away, and I'm like, I can't, what am I going to sign for them for? And Mel Machin was the manager then. He was throwing all, so he was saying, you can be the captain and all this. And I'm like, it was just around the time Keith Curl and them were going there. But no, I was glad I stayed there. There's more money as well. Go to City, get more money. As a kid growing up at a club, you know, I mean, I think all the kids now they've got agents at 15, 16, and you know, it's not right, but the agents are actually working for the players, so you know, it probably is right for the kids. But I know a lot of the good lads who are coming through. I've heard of Angel Gomez. He's 17 now at United. He's actually with Rooney's agent, and he's a top player. He is. But you know, they've all got agents, and I never had an agent while I was there. I was talking to Big Ron the other night. I did a dinner with him, and that came up. I says, yeah, we did. We actually cracked the deal out between the changing rooms and the big gym at the cliff. I was walking over, we sorted out my deal. Just walking across, he's going to play five-a-side. He hasn't got time to talk to me really, but we've ended up sorting my contract out between the changing rooms and the big gym. It's crazy numbers. Crazy numbers.
Who's the best player you played with?
Like I said, I've been very lucky. I've played with a lot of the best players in the world, from Roy Keane's, Brian Robson's, as the two engine room, new midfield, Paul McGrath, like I said, one of the best midfielder as well. Mark Hughes I've roomed with for 14 years, with Wales and with you know, there's so many. Then you've got the white lads who I think took United to the level, like Panchalskis, Giggs, and Sharpie and them. And then obviously Ronaldo, but I never played with Ronaldo, luckily. You have to play with him. When you play with him, you have to play against him in training. So I always judge players on, do you want to play against them? And Ryan was the one I didn't want to play against, because I wouldn't be able to get near him. He was so agile, Ryan Giggs. You know, he'd run there and there like it was a straight line. By the time you get there, he's over there. So anybody else, Canton, I'll play against anybody else, no problem. But Ryan was like, pace, when you're quick. It's the worst thing for a defender, when somebody's quick.
It's quite funny touching on Ryan Giggs there, and you said about these modern day players at United come up in their big Range Rovers at the age of 17. There's a story of the senior players, you know, keeping Ryan going, saying about, I think you should go and see Sir Alex, you know, about another car, if you want to tell us that.
Well, I think it's funny, I think Sharpie mentioned it there. Sharpie and Giggs were very close at the time. And Giggsy was quite clever, and Giggsy says, let's go and get a new car. Which they both went out and got these brand new cars, top of the range, and they drive them into the cliff. So Sharpie drives into the cliff, he thinks he's got the top down and everything, he's driving into the cliff. And Fergie's going like that. What's that? Polite one. What's that? He's going mad at him, what are you doing with that? Look, your head's gone and all that, you've played a few games and you... And then Ryan comes in a 16, he's got a 1600 Ford Escort. He's suckered Sharpie and thinking he's going to come in with the same car, which is more bling than Sharpie's. But he's not, he's come in his little Escort car. And he goes, look, that's there, he's playing in the first team. Look at that car, he's not been carried away with it. And one of them, you know, there's a bit of swearing, I can't really say what he said. But yeah, he was a lot of fun in them days.
Yeah. You scared of Sir Alex?
He was scary. No, he was scary. He was bordering on... I've had the hairdryer once, and it's what... I was sat down, I think I was sat down like that. And you're in the change room, everybody's around the change room, and you're like... He's there on your head, and you're looking around, and everybody's laughing. Everybody's laughing. They're all doing that, and going... But he could lose his temper. He used to walk, I think one of the biggest ones was Pally. Obviously Pally's 6'4", but as you open the door, I figured it out, as you walk through the door, Pally sat there. It's the first one he sees. He used to go for Gary Pallister all the time. But Pally was a very lazy defender, not defender, trainer. So, because he was lazy, he was very unfit. But he was probably the quickest at the club. You know, he had that. And he used to train with Paulins should be doing the same, but he was the fastest and probably one of the fittest of the club. So it was a bit of a weird one. But Pally was, in a game, he'd make a run and he's like that. He'd run 50, what's wrong? But, you know, that's the way he trained. You're only as fit as what you train, and you know, I used to come in, bang, straight away at him. If he's done it, if he hadn't done anything in the game, but sometimes he would come in just to wind you all up and get you going and get you at it. But we had to pull him apart that day. And actually he said, hey, boots off, and they were nose to nose. We were nearly fighting. We had to drag Pally off him.
And we've talked about best player you play with. Who's the hardest opposition player and club in your career?
You know, I think, like I say, pace is the big thing. For me, I never thought of myself as a proper defender. I'm more as a, you know, making something happen. Like I'm a good passer of the ball, and I love playing in the midfield. The ball comes out from a corner, and then you're trying to figure out how can you get the ball back into the box, and you know, just pick somebody out. But defending, anybody who's quick, you know, you've got a problem, because they're always going to be quicker than you. No matter who you are. You know, you can be a quick defender, but if somebody's very, very quick, they're going to get the better of you now and again. And I think that's what I look at Marcus now. Marcus is very agile. He's the closest I've seen to Ryan Giggs. And I saw him a couple of games ago, and he's stopped running at people. Somebody's got to tell him, no, keep running at him. You've got to keep running at him. Keep running. Because the last thing a defender wants is him running at him. But he's stopped doing that now, and that's a confidence thing. He's got to find his confidence from somewhere.
So now focusing maybe from the coaching side of things, do you prefer to coach with young players or seniors?
I think it's, for me, coaching, like I said, when I was 16 I hadn't been coached. I was already at Manchester United, and you know, I hadn't had any coaching whatsoever. So I think you need a bit, it's got to be a lot of it, it's got to be in you as it is. But 20 years later, when I did a bit of coaching with the Welsh FA, the schoolboy team, and when I played at the schoolboy level, like I said, I hadn't had any coaching. Now the team, they're all like 4 years ahead. When I got to Old Trafford, probably when I was 19, I've got a lot of 15-year-olds now who knew more than me when I was like 18 at United, because they're getting coached at a young age, which is very good. And I think it's, you know, a lot of people, it's got to be inside you, and you've got to really want it. If you don't really want it, you won't get it. You've got to work so hard to get there. Any
Management positions appeal to you, both from a youth or senior?
Any of the top 5 clubs? Loads of money, loads of players, top players. Can't go wrong, can you? No, I mean, like I say, I think you're as good as your players. Look at Ranieri. I mean, I think he had I know the European managers love, you know, you win the league, they win the league to play in the Champions League. In England, you win the league, and then you win the league. Then it's like everybody wants to win the league, keep winning the league. But you win the league to get the Champions League, and you can see he's gone for that. I think he's gone so much, we must win and do well in the Champions League, because it's never been done, especially Leicester. Leicester haven't done it before, and I think if the players' minds then have gone, right, he's not really that bothered about the league. And I think that they overachieved big style last year. You know, I think the route won. I think Schmeichel played more balls to Vardy than any other player in the team. Well, that was the stat. And so they're very route one. They're worse than Wimbledon were. You know, and he's got a big boot in him. He's not played a lot this year, so that's probably affected him. And I actually spoke to one of the fans, and he said he put a bet on him to win the league, which was like 5,000 to 1, and then he put a bet on him to go down this season. Which, if you think about it, it's because it's Vardy probably you'd have thought would have gone, and Mahrez, you know, the world-class players. 2 or 3 of their players go, and it's a different team now. But you know, you can see he can't. They look like, to me, they've played like 80% in the Premier League, and they've got turned over for it. Now all of a sudden, they've obviously lost the respect of the manager, because the next manager comes in and they bump. But I don't know whether there was a clash between the manager and the assistant manager, because it sounded like he was getting a bit of praise last year, and Ranieri wasn't too thingy with it. I think he wanted all the praise.
Yeah.
So it's.
And what's the 3 main qualities that you would look for in a player?
They always look. You got to be a good lad. Always do what your parents say, and your coaches. You always listen to it. If I'll watch a group, and if you're talking to them, and you can spot the ones who are not listening, and you think, oh, you might not make it, and all that. You've got to be right on it. You've got to give 100% all the time. You've got to listen to the coaches who've got they've been there. I mean, when I grew up as a kid, I thought I knew everything. You think you know everything. My mum was a fitness coach and all that. She was a netball coach for Wales, and she's going, do these stretches, you'll be more fit. No, I don't need to do them. And I honestly had the worst stretch. I don't think I could touch my toes when I was playing. I've got a better stretch now when I'm 52. So you just got to listen to the older people, the grown-ups know best.
I can hardly see my toes.
I don't need to say anything.
So, Clayton's been absolutely fabulous. I think what we want to do is that we want to maybe give you a chance, if you want to get changed ready for the coaching session. Our row ones and row twos will come down. Clayton's going to do a session out in the field. We also will have opportunity to come back in here after to do a wee Q&A again. So, people that's maybe got a question in their head, save that one. Or if you don't have a question in your head, think of one. You've got 1 hour. And Clayton will do a session outside. So we'll give a big 10 minutes or so just so you get sorted. And we'll start making our way out. So the boys that are going to be taking part in the session, if you can get ready, Paul will go out and help get us warmed up. And everybody else then, please stay with us. Come out, watch the session, and then everybody will come back in. We can get a wee drink and we'll finish off with Q&A then. Thank you.